It's like Christmas, red and green, isn't it? Wow. Yes, it is. Now, this is the Maximal. The Maximal from CJRB Maximal. And Mr. Armstrong is the designer. That's what they tell me. Now, it's $49.99. Do you want micarta? Do you want G10? You can have either one. That's right. And it is very incredibly inexpensive. It's the J1954 with AR RPM steel, blade steel, which is like a 9CR18 steel. 3-inch blade. And, did they ever? Yeah, they did. David C. Anderson, not David B. Anderson. I keep getting them mixed up all the time. I'm kidding. David C. Anderson. But drop point, it's razor sharp. It's crazy. And it will appeal to everybody because, or at least the maximum amount of people possible, because of it's super fidget friendly. It's got thumb studs. It's got it all right here. And this is kind of interesting, isn't it? Because you got Omega springs in here. And I wonder if you've done something that's similar to the clutch lock here or not. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, by the way, let's do this. This is the obvious thing. It's like, how big is it? 3, not quite 7 though. 6.8, 6.85, somewhere in there, at about 17.5 centimeters and about 75 millimeter blade length. Right there. AR RPM 9. Mr. Anderson, and this one, of course, is a G10. It says so on the box, too. Red G10, but this one is upside down. And so this is green micarta. But, I mean, you can have micarta, you can have G10. What do you want? And guess what? Also, you get a zipper pouch with it. All right, okay. CJRB. They're just pumping right along, aren't they? They're coming out with a lot of collaborative designs. Didn't they just not too long do one with, or is that yet to come? Oh God, no, maybe it's yet to come with Dylan Mallory, but this is Anderson here. These are nice with the, what do we call it now? Hold on. I better, instead of calling it slide lock, axis lock, what do they actually call it here? The lock mechanism, lock type crossbar. Okay, crossbar. Okay, I could have guessed that after about 5 because, you only got so many. And so it's super fidget friendly. I like the G10 myself because it's a lot more impervious to soaking up whatever you lay it down in if you expose it to some chemicals or solvents or something. But, I mean, everybody's got their own deal. I mean, micarta, a lot of people like this. They like a little bit more of a cloth-like look here. Also, maybe a little bit better grip in certain conditions as well. And, it's not a super slim, slender knife, is it? I mean, it's got some height to it, and yet it's not even 7 inches long with a 3-inch blade. Stonewash. Now, but how fat is it? Probably, I'll bet what? I'm going to guess about 0.46. 0.47, okay. At 11.9 millimeters, and then let's try the blade stock. Come on, baby. Right in here. 2.3 at 0.9. Is that right? Right there? Yeah, it is. 2.4, whatever. Millimeter blade stock. So, that seems to me that it should slice pretty well, and this one does. How about this one? Check this out. Okay. You know, really inexpensive stuff. They're staying in, you know, in that range, aren't they? Where they're trying to stay in that below $50 segment. I think they're doing a pretty good job. This is the cane, and this is $39. And this is about the exact same length. But see what I'm saying? This one's a taller knife here than this. This is very slender, right? This looks more like a, you know, maybe like a Justin Lundquist design, or Ostap L or something like that here. This one's taller, thicker, heavier looking, but they're the same length. They're just under 7 inches. Okay, but I mean, you know, this is nice little drop shot, easy carry, but that's $39. And, oh, this one comes in aluminum as well, just a silver aluminum if you want, same price. Now this one, very inexpensive, but this is got the blade that has a more traditional look to it, maybe a bit more versatile in certain ways. And the ergos are good. It's pretty neutral here, pretty straight shot. You got this choil here. You do have at least a little breakaway where you can strop your knife and or sharpen it without getting into trouble here by banging into that. And, you know, by the way, well, it looks pretty symmetrical on the grind. Okay. You know, the fit and finish on these are good. You know, I mean, I'm trying to find little areas, but, you know, there are some knives still out there where they got little gotchas. They didn't really file this or sand this or deburr or whatever, but I'm not finding that to be a problem on CJRB knives. So the fit and the finish, from what I can feel and tell, is good. So really, and for the price, I think they're pretty now they're pretty competitive. And it, you know, the bottom line though is this something that looks practical for you to use? Because this is not going to be in a display case. This is going to be something you'll just throw in your pocket and carry around. Oh, by the way, if you're going to throw it in your pocket and carry it around, you probably want to know, what does it weigh? And 3 ounces. I mean, okay. You know what? And this crazy thing is 2.2. That's nuts. That's nuts right there. That's crazy. But this is 3. So like I'm saying, it's got a little bit more heft to it. Oh, and I just popped way past grams, didn't I? There's grams, 85 grams. Nah, well, that doesn't weigh much then. Doesn't weigh much. You know, there's no play in this detent here. And it looks, yeah, it looks dead centered. The lockup is nice, and I like these kinds of locks because this lock goes straight over the top of the blade. So you're not gonna, you'd have to, I don't know how you disconnect this. You could physically pull this back and make the blade drop, but I mean, as far as using it, if you happen to pull, you stuck in some material and you pull up, I just don't see this being defeated, because you'd have to either break the end of the blade away, you'd have to damage or warp this crossbar lock, which is steel. I just don't see it as likely as some, like a button lock. I think a button lock is more precarious, all right? But then they've got things that look like a button lock that are an inverted, you know, liner lock, which, no, I like that too. So there's some good lock systems out there that I think are pretty hardy, you know? And I don't know. It looks like just a regular, now this particular design doesn't just drive me mad with desire, but I have a feeling that this would be one where this would be the one that would get a lot of work around my place, because I just grab whatever, and it usually is a knife that I don't cherish, you know what I mean? So it's these things that take the beating. Where's my other one? My poor little Main Street. I'm not in love with this thing, but I've used it a ton-ass of times. And here's another CJRB. This just gets used. It gets used. It's weird. I mean, they're small. I know that. But I mean, and it's a button lock too, but it still gets used a lot. So those are kind of an example of the beaters that are around on my table that get used, as well as my, oh God, where's this one? Oh, well, this is my Eutectic. Okay. And what else is this one? Hold on. Oh, this one just got whacked. My Sen cut. Damn it. And this is an Ostap Bell design, isn't it? Indeed, too. My wife, Roseanne, had this so crapped up, and I took solvent and scrubbed on this just to get it to this. I go, just go ahead and use it. What the hell? It's a Sen cut, see? That's the stuff. That's the stuff that's getting use around my place. All right. So this would be one of those. Not to show off, but just to use. And let's do a little investigating here, maybe. I think I'm kind of curious about this lock system. Here's what I'm curious about, to see if this is kind of like, like the clutch lock or not. And I'm gonna look at this real quick and see how this opens up. Okay, but does this open up too? Okay, so do we have, okay, so we do have a 3-piece pivot. So this, hold on, let me see. Okay, so this is like, and there's the surround thing. Okay, so we do have basically a clutch lock type of setup, because we got a 3-piece pivot. So this pivot sits in there, and it's just gonna hold the knife together while you do everything else on here. And God, let me see if I need a 6 or an 8 on here. Well, damn, everybody's jumping on the number 8 bandwagon now, aren't they? Okay, so let's take this off. See, that was kind of interesting, because, you know, I'm not a fan of the axis lock where we don't have a 3-piece pivot, because these ones that are these crossbar axis locks, they are, yeah, they're more difficult to deal with. See here, now you could take this off, get out of there. Okay, and there's a little surround in there. You're not going to come out, that's fine, I don't care. Okay, so see, and there's your Omega spring, but see, you can do this on this side too. And so here's number 8. And so when you take it apart or put it back together, it's not a big deal. Hold on, let me see if these are numbers. Yeah, these are number 6s. Come on. And you too. Okay, now let's pull these off. Okay, oh shit. One more. Got covered up back in here. Okay, we're going to put you over here. Okay. See, and then this, just pull off. Okay, good, good. See, now you got your whole knife together, and the reason you can do that is because you have this. If one of these had no entryway into it, and it was a solid piece with the cap, and that one, not that one, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, those are the end pieces. And you only had one you could unscrew here, then how do you pull this pivot? How do you put this back together, you know, without having, you can't have this on when you put it back together, because you know what's going to happen? You cannot move this. So it's a long story, and I've shown you on the clutch lock stuff I've done disassembly on. But so this is like the clutch lock, except it's not adjustable. like the Kaiser clutch lock is. The Kaiser clutch lock's got like 5 holes on each side, all right? So you can adjust this tension on this Omega spring. But this is fine. This is good because you can just take this apart like this, super easy. And then let me push this off. Are you gonna come off, buddy? There you go. Okay, like that. And then you can just pull this. It should just come right off. Let's just do it like this and lay it down. Oh, yeah, never mind. Okay, hold on. First I gotta do this because I can't, I gotta, yeah, there we go. Now we're good. Okay, so now we can just pull these off. And so we can see we have ceramic bearings. Here's our crossbar. There's our crossbar lock here. Here's our actual pivot here. And here's our bearings. So to do a complete disassembly is not, and reassembly is not a big deal now because of the way this is set up, because this will go in and you can build your knife back just like that, you know, with that. And then you can put the outer liners on, and then you can put the outer scales on without hassling, because when you got a crossbar lock, you got those Omega springs on both sides, and they have to be engaged before you put the final scale on. And you got to put both sides on pretty much at the same time. You don't have to, but yes. So I'm just saying, this makes it so much easier. And is it? Yes, it is squared off. So where are we doing it? Right here. Okay, so we're doing it on both sides, and we're holding it in position. Yeah, we are. So we can get all that done. Okay. That's so easy to do. That's a lot easier than some others. Okay, let's just put it that way. Now, ooh, I almost threw that on the ground. Let's do this. Okay, this is presentation. This is backside. And this is our stop. And here's our pivot. Okay, so if we wanted to go do this. Now, the thing is, just for shits and giggles, just throw it together right here. This, now you're stacking your blade, right? Let's go like this. See? Just like that. Now, you can just continue to stack your blade like that, right? And we're good, right? Okay, so now we got our standoffs over here. So this is already in a position where it's fine. And so now you got this. Now, you can just put your crossbar lock in, and I jumped it back from the other side. So you can just do this. If you want to, you do this. Now, kick this over here because they are particular to the side that they're on. Okay, there's one. And then here's your other one. And then you got it. See? Now you got it already. You can just put your scales on and you're good. That's what I like about these. Okay, hold on. See? Just snap that in. Now you got it, right? That's it. And now you just decide you want to put your scales on, you can do that. And this would be great if they made replacement scales, because these would be easy to replace, right? You just boom, boom, put your yeah. And then here's your pocket clip over here. But I mean, other than that, this thing's together, right? It's just so wonderful. And then see, these are not tethered to either side of this pivot. So they are both removable, which makes disassembly and reassembly super easy to do. Like that, right? And then these are the body screws, which I guess they've done number 8s on these. So that's nice. Kick your butt right in here. I think these are all the same size. And what else we got here? Oh, and these on the other side. And then, of course, the pocket clip will have to go on. We got that. And we got this on this body screw here. Now, let's make sure I didn't hoss this too hard. But, I mean, you got it just like that. And is it centered? Yeah. So, bring it a little bit more. Is that going to be too? No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, it's centered. Okay. The only thing I don't have on here is my pocket clip. But other than that, we're in good shape. It's great. And you know what? I'll put my pocket clip on here. And that should not be too difficult to do. Let's get this down here and this here. And we're going to put you, come on boys, we're going to drop both of you in here at the same time. Okay. Okay. Huh. I love it. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. All right. The Maximal. Yeah, so easy. I'm glad I took this apart, and I see how they've done this, which is great, because this is super easy to disassemble and put back together, especially for a knife that has a crossbar slash axis slash, you know what I'm talking about, with Omega springs. So this is simple. This is good. That's a big plus for this knife. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, but keep CJRB in mind, and you guys stay sharp.